Shepherd, Gizzard. Come on, boy. Hey, you buddy. Come on, buddy. Last one for the day. Little Gizzy Piz. Come on, boy. Of course, them boys all helped me today, man. It just saved me a lot of energy. Now maybe I can hang out with them and get on that Fortnite later. What's that there, boy? I think I put Bigfoot up there a week or two ago. And all the dogs think it's somebody over there. It's a big dude right there, man. Other night, I think it was Thursday night. Sitting around the house, hanging out, me and Broody. Had a couple shrooms. Pretty interesting evening just sitting around the house, relieving some stress, depression. Eat about a half eighth of mushrooms and call me in the morning, doctor. What's up, buddy? It's probably getting closer to probably 40 now. It's cooling off. It'll be freezing again this evening. But the boys came by today and helped me with the dogs, so I gotta finish it up with the Gizzy here. They didn't want to go with him, so I had to take him. As you can see though, he's already checking all these little holes, and he's got his own little route established here when we go walking. He sees all the dogs out there barking at him, and look at how alert he is. Starting to get toned down just a little bit as far as trying to pull all the way over to him all the time, which is good. It takes a little bit of time to get him dialed in there. Probably another year or so and he'll be probably tuned in pretty good to our routine and established himself on the yard a little bit better there. I know one thing, if don't know who he'd go to if one of them boys accidentally let go of him like they did with Hope earlier. But this little guy is very, very fast and hard to hold on to, so I always try to make sure I spend the time with him. He requires a little bit more time, like I said in my previous videos of him. He's a high-strung little guy. He's learning good though. Been really piling the food on his little butt. I was telling you earlier in one of my videos, you know, it's tallow season. That's fat, you know, any kind of fat. I noticed one of the guys down there in the south uses mayonnaise. That's kind of similar to what I do. Mine's probably a little less healthy for him, but I tell you, it makes their coat shine up just as fine as a spoonful of I mix bacon grease and hamburger grease. the stuff you cook out of it when you're browning your hamburger for spaghetti or chili or whatever. I just dump all that, my bacon grease, into a coffee can, save it for winter. A little scoop of that, maybe just a hair of some, another scoop of coconut oil, a little bit of some olive oil in the wintertime to their kibble. And then so the venison, deer, raw, bone, fat. It's the barf diet, more or less, but I add kibble into mine. I use a lot of kibble. Kibble's pretty much 90% of my diet here. So that's how I've always fed my dogs, and it works. The fat and the bone and stuff in the winter really gives them something to do. And I notice a lot of folks out there have trouble like I do with their dogs chewing on the houses. This little guy, more or less the pups, him and Hope were really the only ones that chewed on anything. And Hope stopped. I'm trying to get this guy to stop, but as I showed you like a month or so ago or whatever it was in one of them videos, his inside spot, and he chews the shit out of it, man. Almost need metal in there for his little ass. We may end up going that route if he keeps it up. But also, man, I don't know if he even watches my videos, but notice old Triple J down there has been having some issues with some of his dogs, man. I hate to hear that. I hear it in your voice, man. It's sad. And don't let them people fucking bother you at a time when you're down, man. That's time for you to worry about yourself, and hell with all them people, man. You don't have to answer to them fools that think they're, helping, at a time like this. You're like me, man. You're one of those guys that you can take advice, if it's useful, but if it's something you already kind of know and obviously have been through before, it kind of rubs you the wrong way sometimes. I'm the same way when it comes to stuff like that, but I always say I'm always welcome for advice too, so I'm always open for that, good or bad. Sometimes you just gotta try to let it roll off you, man. I try to do the best I can, but sometimes I get caught up in it too. But anybody that watches your channel knows that you take care of your dogs, man. You do the best you can, just like all of us.